there.
The only thing I'm really thinking of right now is like why you might not lock it in immediately is like a Thresh Aphelios into like a Tahm Kench Varus.
Well, could go Varus not. I mean,
Yeah,
we could talk about
Varus
this
not. You know, like whatever
IG.
way you want to work it. Like there are things that can do very well if it can start to snowball away, and maybe you're just a little bit afraid of that if you're on the side of RA. This time round though, they are going to go towards the Lillia, and now they've locked in the Aphelios.
Okay, so maybe this is the Varus Nautilus pick. Maybe this is what they've been baiting. They kind of hovered the Thresh to go, oh, well, maybe we'll go for it. But certainly, Wink and Lucas have been playing this a lot. Wink will just be continuously on this Varus rampage, and I don't hate it. It's just more so that they need to make this work. Thresh, though, maybe nicked away here, which means we could see your Tahm Kench pick come in for Hong in that bottom lane Penguin.
Yeah, just a very similar thing, of course, to the Nautilus, as you know, get the hook out, get the play back, get the box. They are going to lock that one in, and we see Wink probably going to go towards that Varus again. So third time's the charm. Did pick up a win on it in game 2. Obviously lost pretty heavily in game 3. And this is for IG. This is your, this is where you kind of looking at them and kind of going, right, you need this to work. So if this Thresh pick was worth the kind of, high priority, or if the Udyr pick was worth the high priority, this is where it needs to, pay its dividends.
And I think for RA now, you need to high prioritize the...
Oh! I love this.
Yes.
Love it.
So we were actually talking beforehand. Wink has been practicing a lot of this in solo queue. He goes for the Essence Reaver Gale Force build, and it does a heap of damage. So I'm really excited to see this go against the Aphelios. Very well enabled in this composition with the Thresh as well, but on the upside, we talked about the high dividends that this Tahm Kench will return, so they are going to lock that in on the opposite side. So honestly, IG, it's bot lane or bust right now.
Which is not something we tend to see from Invictus Gaming. They are lane solo, specifically solo lane kingdoms, and we saw it from pretty much all 3 of the games. It was mid, top, jungle pressure from Shun. I still think, though, that with the composition they've built for themselves so far, like, there's no escape for the Tahm Kench and Aphelios if they do not have flashes. If you're able to get them to overextend even a tiny bit, and even things like you hook the Aphelios or you hook the Tahm Kench and bring him back towards you, those extra little millimeters are huge in this bot lane.
But it's also like Thresh enables the Udyr so well to play around that bot side too with the lanterns and everything. So as RA, I think this is where you try and figure out, right, what do we want to do? Actually, do we put Q back on towards an Orianna or a Sion? We play weak side and enable Leyan to play very heavily towards the spot side. What do we get for FoFo? Can FoFo get onto something that can try and play as an extra man in this bottom lane? Give it like a Galio, a Twisted Fate. Like, there's a lot of options here for RA to try and counteract how IG will want to play around bot.
Oh, I think we know who RA want to pick. They just banned away the Quinn. And you know what? We'll wait for that one to come in before we make any rash
It's not
decisions.
as bad this time. At least it's further down the draft. You know IG you're going to be playing into, right?
Yeah.
Short range on the Draven. It's not like you're going to be playing a anything that's not going to be heavily a team fight dives. So I don't mind the Renekton, but there we go, IG banning away anyway. So I think as Cube, honestly, you probably just go back towards the Sion here. You give a strong front line towards this Aphelios, something that can engage, something that can cause a little bit of a ruckus for like a short range Draven in these team fights, or at least provide a bit of a nuisance for IG.
Go with Gnar as well, yeah. Just as I say, he offers it over there. Gnar does a pretty similar thing well into most matchups and has a little bit of engage as well.
You could go towards the Jayce here, though, as TheShy. And then you've got like Accelerated Shock Blast, which can rain down on a relatively short-range composition from RA. Also gives a lot of movement speed towards the Draven and also the Udyr. I think this would be the best pick. And not even talk about, he just beats Gnar in lane.
Yeah, straight up can solo kill him. That is a Jayce locked and loaded, almost certainly going up to TheShy on the top side for as he goes up against the Gnar. And see now, what does Rookie want to blind here? I wouldn't actually mind seeing maybe something like an Azir, an Orianna, maybe something that has a little bit more kind of like, get up and go about itself, or you kind of fully commit to something like the Park.
Galio. I know this is a bit out of left field. I suppose you kind of rely heavily on the Thresh as the engage, but I think right now, actually, this is just as fine. It's about zone control for me. I was thinking Galio to try and disable Aphelios getting in short range, same with the Lillia, but I think this Orianna can do just as well with controlling those spaces with the ball and find a little bit of opportunity. We're looking across the Viktor, though, for FoFo. Going to be able to control just as much zones when we look towards like the likes of that gravity field, the likes of the ultimate as well. We'll be locked in there, so I like this. FoFo looking to scale in towards the late game. A lot of late game scaling, I will say, on RA's side, but certainly we need to see how they're going to control both sides of the map, because if you heavily invest RA on this bottom side, Wink and Lucas will get shut down, but TheShy can take over top. Vice versa, if you end up putting Leyan all this pressure topside for Cube, then you can get Shun playing heavily towards Wink and Lucas on the bot side. I think either way, IG have set themselves up to control early dragons and try and use those team fights and those missteps that Orianna might have around the objectives to get Wink up and rolling.
Well, potential last game here for IG. They need to win it to force us to a game 5, to force us the full distance. And they got themselves a little bit of a spicy draft. I like seeing TheShy still getting a counter pick, still getting onto the Jayce, something that can do a hell of a lot of damage. And I'm loving the Draven as well, because you've also given it that extra little bit of safety with the Thresh, and we're going to see probably why the Thresh is so highly valued throughout pretty much all of LPL.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of funny in that you can take Jackie Love out of IG, but you can't take the Draven out of IG. Wink still bringing this one to the forefront. But I think, honestly, the reason Thresh is so highly valued, just coming back to your point, is like Disengage is phenomenally strong right now when you look towards short ranges in the jungle, in the supports, and like trying to get these big engages off. It just works very, very well. The safety as well with that Lantern is phenomenal. So I think, honestly, we'll be seeing a lot of pressure here towards this bottom side, and that's not even talking about like Lucas with flash hooks, the ability to Lantern and Shun to this bottom lane. It looks really good for IG here if they can get this kind of win lane, win game going. If we get to the late game though, I'm highly favoring Orianna.
Yeah, it's a lot of if, buts, and maybes there in your analysis there. Of course, that is just the way things go
with the Gyro.
Wow.
Caught out Rookie at the end.
Yeah, like, right at the end, you can hear everyone just kind of going, we all love Rookie. And we jump on to see if there's any early shenanigans. Wink going to possibly spot out the invade here from iBoy and Hung. It's not really going to give them anything, honestly. It's just going to get them to say, right, they're not in this bush.
So I think when we look towards the early stages here as IG, this is where I'm most curious to see where Shun paths. He looks like he will start on the top side here at the moment, but it means that he's moving away from TheShy, and we're basically going towards this game plan. It's like, right, IG have said, all right, you know what we're doing. We're playing bot. We're getting the Draven fed. Admiration stacks coming in. Give me the gold. What we need to see from Orianna, though, is how do they react? Are they going to just play heavily towards this bottom side, or are they going to try and punish TheShy? Because the way TheShy plays this lane is by continuously shoving, chipping away at the turret, and using the massive, massive advantage that he has in range over the Gnar. So there's opportunities here for Orianna on top side, but it does mean that IG will certainly be controlling this bottom side, and already Orianna giving a lot of respect to this level 1.
You got him. Like, Draven with those spinning axes has so much damage that he's able to put down. One auto attack could probably take you down by about a quarter, if not a little bit more, depending on your resistances. You can see they're just pushing this one in. Is a little bit in favor of, though, in terms of CSing for iBoy, as Lucas just tries to get something going for him, and the wave will just kind of hover itself just before the turret, so not going to get the full push off.
You see, though, here in top side, like, this is going to continue here for TheShy, and I actually like the way TheShy has played this. He's got the wave pushing in against them, which means that, look, he will be able to poke and prod, but he will not be vulnerable to any sort of ganks from Leyan in the early stage, especially on this Predator. Lillia, they'll be looking to chase him down, but see there, Shy, quick on the trigger finger, avoids the damage from Cube, and you're not really going to be able to dive the Shy right now unless you had FoFo roam up, but he's struggling with Rookie in mid lane.
Yeah, lane kingdom, solo lane kingdom as well, as we were talking about. This is kind of what you want to see from IG. This is what you expect from this team. And just looking at them historically, like, they've always kind of been a team that have, you know, done massively, you know, kind of well in the regular season and then kind of faltered towards the playoffs. This time around, we need the complete opposite. We need them to turn stuff on, because the regular season has been has left little to be desired.
Look, there is a big opportunity here for Wink and Lucas to kind of show, look, that spring split hasn't been in our favor, but we can make things happen. I actually dislike this from Shun. There's no need to try and dive that. You're not really going to be able to get much done. I would have much rather see Shun reset, take his topside jungle, and potentially be here for anything happening on the top side for TheShy. Now, TheShy does avoid it, but look, what we're looking towards now is dragons for IG. they can move in towards this top side as Shun, clear back down towards bot. Wink and Lucas want to get this reset off bot wave, and then turn that in towards a quick reset into shove bot in towards Dragon.
A bit of posturing there. I did like the hook from Lucas as I just randomly found itself between minions and Hung on top of iBoy. I was like, no way. They got the perfect engage, but not going to over-force anything. This is the kind of game that you can't really let snowball out of your control. If you do let this kind of get away from you, if you do let one team or the other just kind of run away with the advantages, it can just be absolutely detrimental to your game plan on either side. You know, you let the IG side run away with this, they're just going to have too much damage for you to even deal with. And on the opposite side, if you don't have enough damage in the early / mid game on the side of IG, but RA do, your game plan goes out the window.
Yeah, I mean, it's as this starts to scale in towards the later portion, I'm definitely favoring RA. Like, you talk about the damage potential from Aphelios, from FoFo, as well as even Leyan as well, is going to be pretty massive, especially against a relatively squishy team as IG. But where IG thrive is off those two items. When TheShy can go towards like the early Manamune and the Clips, same you look towards Wink with the Gale Force and the Essence Reaver.
And Predators says hello. And off he goes.
Oh, hang on.
Shun, though, flashes forward, lands on top of Hong. Probably not the person he really wanted to go for. The heal has been used. Flash has been burned, and they do get to follow this one up. He's gone fishing. The double flame means the iBoy's forced to flash away. There's no flash, no exhaust, nowhere to go. First blood IG.
And that is a disaster for RA's bot lane. If iBoy hadn't been hit by the hook, you've no delivery system for Thresh in to close that kill. Now the admiration stacks are coming in from Wink, and this is exactly what we talked about, where you get that quick play around that bottom side, you turn that in towards these dragons, and although we didn't get the resets coming in first, this is what IG were trying to do. Use Shun pathing down towards bot side to make these plays happen.
No, the flash just sets him up, and this is what I was trying to allude to in the champ select. You pick up the Thresh, it means that even if you do get that Devour, it's like, oh, well done, you stopped my hook. I'm going in. There's nowhere for you to go. So either he catches the Tahm Kench, or he catches the Aphelios and the Tahm Kench. But while this has all been happening, Hong says, I need a little bit of revenge, and they get themselves a kill onto FoFo. Shun just gets caught.
Yeah, Shun hadn't backed after that, hadn't reset, and Wink had only just made it back to lane. So a bit of a whoopsie, I will say, coming through from Shun, not respecting that RA will be back onto the map faster. But still, I'm taking this as a pretty big win, as the kill for Wink is going to mean so much more for the snowball. But FoFo will be no snuff if he manages to keep this snowball rolling off the kill he gets.
Well, both mid laners now picking up a nice donated kill, as it was Rookie and FoFo picked up those ones respectfully. And you can see Rookie, yes, he's a little bit far behind in CS, but he has a big wave crashing into him. He might even try and just be annoying and freeze this one in front of his turret, force the TP out of FoFo, as he can't really let it just kind of sit here.
So, again though, because we're focused a lot on mid and bot, I just want to take this quick reset to talk about top side, because we are seeing that CS lead open up. TheShy getting a nice reset in here as well. He's already got that serrated Dirk. He will be able to power home through this top side of the map while all the shenanigans are happening bot side. So there is an opportunity for IG, if they want to try and go towards this this early Rift Herald, look for these early fights that could start the snowball for Wink, but it will start a lot of that with the power TheShy has in this top lane.
Tell just how important this particular game is. Like we mentioned before, momentum. The idea that you can take down someone who is honestly a very equal kind of power to you and get yourself into another setup. iBoy. As you're going to see a full commitment here as they do pop down and see iBoy just taking so much damage. I don't really think he can kind of go for this fight right now. The spinning axes doing so much. Flash forward by Wink, and he will get the adoration he deserves. Beautiful play from IG. Yes, they committed teleport, but you don't care.
Yeah, I mean, it's Rookie's TP to set up that play, and gorgeous positioning from Lucas. He knew iBoy was overextended. No flashes on anyone. TheShy now turning this onto Leyan.
Leyan will get the lilting lullaby down. He will dodge out. Nice little happy feet, and that will stop a little movement there. Shun, though, on top of FoFo. FoFo has flash. FoFo's got nowhere to go. Shun just solo kills him. And again, I mentioned this at Pick Ban. Shun's having a series.
Oh no, FoFo, what are you doing in that position? Shun, yeah, he's having great moments where he's able to catch out members of RA, but I don't understand what they're doing there. Like, there's no I understand you're trying to collapse onto TheShy, but TheShy is tearing you apart.
I think they tried to go for the Rift Herald. TheShy then collapsed onto Leyan, and then it was just like, oh, well, we're kind of not really on the same ball with this.
But this is what we said. Serrated Dirk for TheShy. He is so damn strong right now, and gaining these advantages over Cube. And Leyan, yes, you can work with Cube, but you are not a tank. You cannot absorb the damage that TheShy has. And again, the solo play from TheShy top nets the numbers advantage through mid. They collapse onto FoFo, and another kill going the way of IG. And when we talked about getting off to a nice mid-game, 3 kills in your back pocket and 1,000 gold lead is going to go a long way for that.
Oh, the combination is gorgeous! Donated over to Rookie IG. That was crisp.
That was filthy. That was nasty. That was exactly what I wanted from IG. This was the lane dominance we talked about. TheShy playing top, and now you're getting these plays in mid as well. Shun playing heavily around FoFo, and just poor pathing from FoFo. Should have taken the long route around. Could have still been there to help, but takes the easy man's route, and it's an easy way back towards the fountain.
You can see Lucas now feeling pretty damn good on this Thresh, and we can see the power that you get. The power to be able to make plays like that happen in the mid lane without having to commit your flash, without having to commit multiple different people to it. It was just straight up Rookie put his ball forward, ult back, immediately into the hook. Job done.
And it's actually usually the combo we see with Udyr and Orianna. We just added the Thresh in. Same thing, different day. The big thing now, though, is starting to stack and rack these dragons for IG. They have the 2 kills mid. They have full control there. They are just going to wait for the shockwave to come off in time for that dragon spawn, and then they can move Shun and Wink into prime position. And if Ori try to contest, I mean, you've got a big old Draven, you've got a big old Orianna, and you've even got the teleport available for TheShy, who's pretty sizable in his own right.
Oh, speaking of TheShy, he flashes forward aggressively onto Leyan, and Leyan has to flash away. Cube cannot follow. IG are online.
They are back. They are big in this game, and Ori, they're left scratching their heads. It's like, what's happened? Where was this IG all series long?
Honestly, that's why we can never count out IG. That's the kind of decision making where we're like, you know, TheShy, is he TheShy or the int, like, you know, all that kind of stuff like that. But those split-second decisions where he goes, well, I'm going to sleep. I'm gonna flash on you, and it's just like boom. I have my jungler with me for the first time, probably all all season nearly. It feels like Shun and TheShy are kind of pretty much on the same page.
Yeah, and look, I mean, they have been playing very heavily towards TheShy, and TheShy has had a phenomenal split, but like this is taking it to a new level where he is just reading Ori consistently. He has been playing Jayce for so long. He understands the damage output. He understands what he can do, especially against champions like Lillia. He's willing to just turn this around.
Well, that's second dragon. We are going to have an Ocean Soul on the Rift. So 2 dragons, 2 IG, a 2,000 gold lead, 5 kills to 1. And they are starting to ramp up the gears for RA. It's about damage mitigation. It's about stopping the bleeding. It's about coming out and kind of finding a fight when you're at those 2-3 item spikes that we talked about. But that's a very long way away from now.
But the problem for RA is, right, I mean, you've just got the 2 more dragons essentially until Soul. So in 10 minutes time, you're going to have to fight. If IG are taking these off of respawn, you're in a lot of trouble. And now RA is like, hang on, FoFo's not in a position to try and fight this. iBoy is so far from 3 items, there's no way he's going to be in a position to fight. He's so far behind. Like, you are still waiting for Kraken Slayer, Rune's Hurricane, Infinity Edge. Hell, he might even have to go towards something like the IE or a Bloodthirster to keep up with the poke from IG. Like, he's got to go defensive before everything else here.
They're being run out of here. This is the perfect Rift Herald. You're not only getting the mid lane turret, but you're getting money onto Rookie, who I'm just looking down the map. Like, everyone has pretty much either half items or defensive items.
But look at the vision that IG have. Like, it's littered all around this bottom side, and this is what makes IG so potent when they get a lead. It's controlling that vision, brute forcing their way into the jungle, and stopping you from being able to defend it. IG are doing that beautifully now, and honestly, iBoy, this is brave. Like, there is a high chance now with mid lane turret down that IG just run bot and go for this big dive.
Well, they might go for a big dive, but I see that little pink horde just hanging along in the oil cove, and that is what they want. They want to put FoFo and Cube on that little ward and try and just dissuade the dive.
And it's the counterpunch, right? It's what RA like to play around. It's how they try and make these plays back. It's little things like this that could give them the opportunity to make a play back.
That's exactly what they're going for. They get the grab at them down, but the stand aside, flash forward, exhaust goes down. They haven't got the damage, and you can see their FoFo has to immediately retreat, pots down the Chaos Storm to try and dissuade. Shockwave brings them all the way back. Hung has to go golden after he went into the Zhonya's. They will not lose anybody. As I say that, flash forward, not quite enough with the Luden's Tempest from Rookie, but this bot lane belongs to IG.
That heal from iBoy coming in clutch there, but topside Cube, he's so low and TheShy has got backup.
And TheShy has got a very fast bear just running at him. Leyan does not want anything to do with this. Yes, he's a level up, but that man-bear pig is terrifying. As we can see now, Rookie wrapping himself around at this bot side. They're trying to see if they can just clear the wave here for RA. And they should be able to get away with this.
It's punch hard, punch fast from IG. It's a flurry of blows for them right now as RA. I just said, this is brave to stay around bot side. You don't have a mid lane turret, but RA are bringing the cavalry. Hung is coming back with FoFo and iBoy still underneath the turret. He will be there to keep them safe for the moment as Cube teleports back towards top lane and hopes that maybe he can get some sort of control topside as the Rift Herald spawns.
A flurry of fights, a flurry of action as we talked about, but nobody goes down. Rookie's still hunting though. A lot of damage onto Leyan. Only really keeps himself above half HP because of the smite. And they're crashing waves. This is the chaos that RA are just they're kind of used to, but at the same time, it goes both ways. If you're not dictating the fight, if you're not dictating the tempo, you lose.
But this is it. They're so good at using those lane advantages to find even further advantages. So, Rookie is doing great against FoFo mid. Okay, let's get this mid lane turret down. Then that opens up, okay, we can create this quick push in towards mid, rotate through the dark bot side jungle of RA, and drive this turret. They don't get the dive, but they get enough damage done that now Wink, he can take that bot lane turret with a stiff breeze, and you still have this Rift Tower to the back pocket of Shun to crack open top tower, or even threaten these inhibitor turrets mid. Like, IG are in full control right now, and you're not in time here as RA to get to that late game point where you can actually fight them on an equal footing.
You just see there, FoFo just sitting on a lost chapter. It's just not what you want.
Shockwave.
Shockwave has to be used, or sorry, excuse me, the Devour has to be used to save iBoy. Honestly, I feel like he even dies there sometimes. Like, that's how far behind he is. He has no resistances, and you're looking at Sore Shoes in a Tempest.
I love the way it's like iBoy, FoFo, Hung are all like, right, we're saving bot lane. Let's go, boys. Yeah. One Shockwave. Retreat!
Yeah. I was going to say it's like Monty Python. I was like, charge! Retreat!
It's like, nope, this ain't for us. You know what? I'm going to go back and just wait for this all to blow over.
But you've lost bot lane turret, of course, and now you have got this massive amount of pressure and the dragon spawning in 10 seconds. You cannot contest this. You're 4,000 gold or 4,500 gold behind. IG will have better item spikes, so even if you try, you will probably just lose and put yourself further behind. You have to fight at soul.
There's no way they're able to, and again, yes, they fight at soul, but we already highlighted this, right? 22 minutes and you're trying to fight for this soul point. iBoy is barely cracking Slayer. He'll finish off his Runaan's Hurricane, sure, but you don't have any more damage that can come out from this Aphelios. Same when you look at FoFo, he's not going to be able to provide a huge amount of burst damage. Yes, he can control these zones super well, but honestly, IG are just going to be able to slap RA with their wallets and send them packing.
Yeah, you can see here there's 4 people mid just to kind of defend this one push. TheShy roams down, they're trying to get something going for Q, but he's taking so much damage. He tries to stride breakers away, but the Eclipse just nullifies everything.
And the only way that RA can actually maybe contest this dragon is if they hard force Cube into this fight, get some sort of teleport flank, and maybe, just maybe, they can pick members of IG off. But if they do that, I feel like IG just leave TheShy in a side lane. They'll continue to keep this pressure up and rolling. And especially, don't forget, we still have Rift Herald here for Shun, who looks like he's just about to pop a bot side.
Yep, pop it in here. You got yourself more pressure towards this bot side. And honestly, I love this because from IG's point of view, they're like, cool, we don't have to play around Baron. We don't have to play around mid lane as such. We need to play around Dragon Soul. We get an Ocean Soul, you can't kill us. There's nothing in a world that will kill us in time for this one to make it, an advantage for RA. But for RA, they're just trying to stay alive. They're just trying to see if they can keep everybody alive until they get those big item spikes.
And IG are the ones looking alive. When their backs are against the wall, when it's coming down to game 4 of their playoffs, this is where they need to step up. We see the Draven come out from Wink. They take that risk and is paying dividends for them right now. A 6,000 gold lead in favor of IG at the 18-minute mark. Dragon control in their favor. I mean, when Baron comes up in 2 minutes' time, they can so easily play towards that as well and forgo these ocean dragons. However, I think their composition wants to fight or 1v1.
Well, 1v1 is totally fine here for TheShy as he forces the flash out of Cube, and that will not be available now for any ensuing team fight.
Like that Dragon in 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Where we just said, hey, look, the guy who needs to try and find this opportunity would be Cube with a big flank, something that this Gnar might be able to slam IG against the wall and allow FoFo and iBoy to burst him down with some AoE damage. It's not an option anymore. That flank, or that flash being down, means it's so much more difficult to find a flank as Cube.
I will say, the Wombo combo is definitely there for RA.
Yes.
You get a lilting Lullaby into the Mega Gnar, into the wall. You get a Chaos Storm on top of that, the Moonlight Vigil. You have an option. Yes. It's a very slim option, but you have one.
It is great, but it does rely on the starting point being Cube, and that's why we're highlighting this flash being down. Because, I mean, unless Leyan predators in and finds some crazy flash shillelagh, you're not really going to be able to do too much. And IG, at least with the way they've been playing, have been very spread out. They're not really given the opportunity for to find these moments. And as Leyan has gone towards Leandri's Anguish, working towards that Demonic Embrace, he's somewhat tanky, but it's not like he's gone towards the Zhonya's Hourglass, the Banshee's Veil, which has been more so the engaged version of Lillia.
I think for the first time as well, we're seeing Rookie kind of bully FoFo out. We're seeing him push him around where it feels like FoFo is kind of saying, you know, all right, I got to respect this guy, whereas previously it was kind of equal out, if not FoFo kind of getting the push and forcing Rookie to react. And oh my god, the accelerated shock blast means that iBoy, he got to go home.
Retreat.
Minute and a half, yeah, retreat. Minute and a half until this Ocean Soul is spawning. Baron's on the floor, on the rift as well. The map is IG's. They just need to not throw it away.
And it is honestly going to be tough, because look, range advantage there for TheShy. He's popped shots at Ore all the live long day, and you got to respect it.
Oh, you can see there, just with the power of Thresh. I would 100% think that RA will either ban it or first pick it if it's left open in the next game, if they do end up going to a game 5, because this pick has been absurd for just opening up IG to everything they want to do, everything that makes them good, everything that makes them scary, has honestly been revolving around Lucas on this Thresh.
Okay, 50 seconds until this Dragon. Wink obviously finishing off these creeps so then he can go for the reset and finish off. I'm assuming something pretty big, but we'll have to wait and see. I'd imagine a last whisper is what he's really looking for. Maybe he's just going to stay out on the map. The big thing here though is that IG looking to get control of River. FoFo TPing in towards mid to make sure the 5-man stack is here. I would have preferred IG having some sort of push on a bot or top, but looks like they might be able to wait for that. iBoy!
Oh, they use the Devour. Devour is down now for quite a long time, and Tahm Kench is gone. You cannot even pop the Grey Health. Chaos Storm is there. And how do you go into this fight now? How do you defend this Dragon?
Rookie! Keep your eyes on Rookie. He's going for the shockwave.
Well, he's going for it in, but he only catches onto one, but they flay him back. 3 people are dead. Make that 4. And this game 4 is looking like we're going to a game 5.
It is unbelievable from IG. They just look unstoppable. They're now turning towards the Baron. They say, hey, TheShy, you go solo that Dragon out. We're taking everything.
They will take absolutely everything on this map. This Draven Thresh has just honestly blown this map completely up, and you can see TheShy, he just knows he doesn't have anything to worry about. It's a Aphelios and a Tahm Kench. Even if they did arrive, he probably kills them.
Yeah, this is so well done by IG, and the strength that they are going through is just insane right now. This is where their composition is strongest. Then you add in Baron, you add in the Dragon Soul, you add in the 10,000 gold lead. And what do you do as Ore? You've had to, as FoFo, go towards the Verdant Barrier because of how much damage Rookie's doing. So again, you're delaying these like Rabadons and Void Staffs and all this good damage. You can see the confidence Wink is playing within these team fights as well, knowing, hey, there's nobody's going to do anything. Cube isn't Mega, which means I'm free to go. The second that gravity field goes down, I know where I can position. And now IG, you can see in the lower left corner, they're cracking open the turrets. They're going for the base.
FoFo and iBoy were literally on the edge of that shockwave. If they get caught, I think that's literally game. They can just probably end through mid lane, but you can't defend. You have no items. You have no way of wave clearing this one, and no Mega Gnar to try and get an engage. So Ocean Soul, a Baron, a crap ton of poke. IG can just run this in.
And looks like that's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to play around this range. There's the damage from Rookie. The hook for Hung, but it won't need to a kill, but lead to that tower going down.
And this is for IG, trying to see if they can push it in. They don't have a minion right now, but they have a minute and 40 left. on themselves and that Baron, so no one really going down. Predator popped here by Leyan. They're not really gaining anything. They're just sitting, waiting, watching.
And Ocean Soul as well, so even the damage that sticks doesn't actually stay around for too long. Defender's advantage is gone.
Defender's advantage is gone. Moonlight Vision will land down. Flash in. iBoy is the target. iBoy will take down Rookie. This could be maybe a step too far. Flash forward on top of the rest of the team. The Nexus will go down in time, and that is going to send us to a Game 5.
IG,
Woo!
that was beautiful. Coming out, lane domination across the board. They said 2 isn't good enough. We need that 3. Yeah. And that's where the Wink brings out that Draven, and it was so good to see. I loved how well they played this. It was like, look, I'm going to call you out here, RA. Do you play around this Draven on the bot side? Cool. We're going to have Jayce topside. We are going to have TheShy completely destroy Cube in such a hard-favored matchup for the Jayce, and you've got to pick your poison. Because you're either losing to the Draven on the bot side that we're happy to play around with Shun, stacking up these dragons, or you play towards TheShy in the top lane. Towards the bot side, and TheShy just wins top. Like, there was no winning for RA here, and it was so well executed. We got these early dragons coming through for Shun. We got the early kills for Wink, and from that point, the game exploded in favor of IG.
Honestly, it really felt like this was the first time we've really seen IG play like IG. Like the IG that we've seen it in dribs and drabs. We've seen, like, you know, every now and again Rookie pop off. TheShy obviously having a good split, but like you said, that was another level of dominance, and it was like, I think in less than 25 minutes they ended up like winning the game. Like it was quick, it was crisp, and honestly you could feel the energy, just how they were roaming around, just Rookie kind of going, okay, where's the next play? For the first time I feel like that was Rookie alive in the series. Rookie felt good, Rookie looked good. I want to see that continue, because that makes me excited for as an LPL fan.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing here, is that we got a lot of moving parts here for IG that all came to fruition. Whether we look at Rookie in the mid, I mean, that verdant barrier came in so late from FoFo, and of course, because of the nerfs that came in 11.6, you can have a little bit more control as Rookie using those TPs to get down towards bottom lane as well, setting up Wink, setting up all these plays for the Draven, and then TheShy running away with topside. Like, this was how I want to see IG play, and even down to like the little things, like the vision control they get in towards RA's bot side jungle to allow them to go for these plays in the mid lane tower. Like, it's all the pieces of the beautiful IG playstyle finally coming together.
Honestly, it felt like a completely different team. Honestly, it really did. It felt like they had just completely found their mojo, as Jordan and Joe like to say, or Lyric and Munchables. But for RA, lot to think about. You are still at match point, you know. You went 1 for 1, so there's no real momentum as such. You know, yes, you're coming off of a loss. It kind of sucks, but we have seen them do what IG did to them, so that we know that they can do this. We know that they can come out of this on top. I feel like they're going to lean back towards that blue side. They're going to look to first pick something and then kind of just go, cool, we get exactly what we want from the first pick, and move on from there. Yeah,
and I think that's the big one here for me, is kind of like, what's the adaptation? I think we finally see that Renekton is just going to be gone.
The
mini meta, yes. But I think the bigger thing is like, hey, does the Thresh get banned away? Do we just go, Thresh wasn't the problem, Draven was the problem? Do we get like more AD carry bans into a series that we didn't think would be as focused on this bottom side of the map? Like, there's a lot that you've got to try and now piece together here as RA. And especially when we're looking at how strong IG is looking just lane-wise, it's really hard to do.
Well, everybody, the gods have spoken. We are going to a Game 5. We're going to throw it to a quick break. When we return, the final game that will decide between who will go and face FBX in 2 days' time will be coming right up.